I've been watching and observing the market, but you know what? I don't see the prices of the houses come down. If anything, they just continue to go up and up and up. And I don't understand, because my understanding is that whatever goes up must come down. But what's happening, like we are past the eviction moratorium, but we don't see anyone foreclosing yet. So what is going on? Please tell me. Is that how you feel and you're looking for answers right now? If that's the case, then you arrive to the right channel and the right episode. So keep on watching. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode at Nova Rice Invest. For those who are tuning in for the first time, this is your channel for real estate education. So today we're going to talk about what's happening with the prices of the house, because everyone keeps saying that the prices are going to fall, but when exactly, right? And so for that, what we're going to do is to dive in straight into the tablet. So here we are, and let's analyze things, right? What is truly causing the prices of the houses to go up? What is that? And it's just a very simple answer. It's the stimulus that we're getting, right? And you're probably thinking, really? That? Why? Well, it's very simple, because money is cheap. It's just as simple as that. So everyone is getting their cut on the stimulus. We're, as individuals, we're getting access to unemployment money, and we're getting access to stimulus money. And as a business, you get access to SBA loans that have very low interest rates. So everyone is getting a share of the money that it's been circulated and it's been approved by the Federal Reserve, right? Now, there's two types of consumers, whether you are the person on the individual side or whether you are a business. When you get money, what do you want to do with it? You spend it, right? Or at least that's what the Fed wants you to do. The purpose of having such a big stimulus package is to incentivize you as a consumer to spend the money, so that way the economy can continue to circulate, because otherwise we're going to hit a big recession, if not a depression, right? And we don't want that to happen. We want people to feel like everything is business as normal, that they have money, and that's the intent of all of this. So as a person, as a consumer, you have two choices in terms of spending your money. One is just by simply going shopping and buy some shoes, a nice wallet, or clothes, whatever. And there's the second type of consumer who is looking to invest their money, right? Independently of whether you get only $600 in unemployment or now $400 or even $1,200, the point is that you're getting money that you can use or add to whatever you have saved so far to make that investment that you've been looking forward to make. Call it the stock market, or you can call it the, real estate market, right? And if you're a business owner, you also get to choose to do the same thing. You can use that money. Ideally, you should use that money to reinvest it in your business. But some people are using that money to just simply invest, right? Because you want to make your business grow. You want to make your money's worth it. So what's happening with that? That because money is so cheap and everyone is looking to invest, that's driving prices up. Why? Because the demand stayed the same. There's only a certain number of stocks in the market. They haven't issued any new stocks. The company, as far as I'm concerned, have not announced any major stock releases so that people could buy. And because of that, that means that the supply of stocks is relatively slow, which means the prices have to go up so that it remains competitive. Otherwise, everyone is going to get their hands on it and you won't have any stocks to buy anymore. Same thing happens with real estate. Constructions are not happening nowadays. Why? Because of the virus. And if you live in a state where construction has resumed, believe me, it's resumed in a very limited capacity. Why? Because you have to respect social distancing law. You cannot have, let's say, 30 workers under one building, because you cannot place them right next to each other. Now you have to maintain a certain level of distance, so you cannot fit as many people into the construction site as you did before. So instead of having 30 people, now you're having 10 people. Yes, construction is happening, but it's happening at a very slow pace. And that only means that consumers, people like you and I, are going to have to wait longer in order to get their hands on a property. And if that's not enough, let's think about the properties that were actually move-in ready. Families who were getting their house fixed up so that way they can just sell it. Nobody wants to list their house on the market anymore because they don't want germs being spread out. They don't want people coming to their homes, especially if they have children, because they don't know. What if that person had the virus and doesn't know it? How many of you have heard about the cases where people had the virus but were just simply not showing any signs of being sick with it, right? So that only reduces the supply available, and people have no other choice but to just pay premium. That's how you remain competitive. I want it, you want it, and whoever wants it the most, then they have to pay more money, right? So far so good. You're following me? Now, I want to clarify one thing. While this is happening, it doesn't mean the entire country is being impacted the same way, right? Real estate is actually very localized. It's not like a national standard thing. It's very local. So let's take this for example. So we have Connecticut right here, and we have New York right here, because I've been monitoring it very closely, which is New York. Okay. So in New York, the home prices have been dropping. And same thing with rent. If anything, landlords, they have to make concessions now to be able to rent, because it's not so easy to rent anymore. More and more people want to live the city. They don't want to live in a very dense area where they have to share the common halls, or they have to share the laundry room, or even the parking lot, because there's a lot of people nearby. So you don't know anything about the person standing next to you. They could be sick, they could not be sick, who knows? But the point is, you want to reduce that exposure. So as a result, a lot of people are migrating to Connecticut. And then in Connecticut, the home prices are actually going up. Same thing with the rent. So those who can afford to move to Connecticut, they're looking to buy bigger houses. Why? Because most families are starting to work from home, and they need more space. Now you have to deal with the husband and the wife all under the same roof, and children taking classes remotely. That's just a recipe for disaster. There's a lot of noise. Parents cannot truly really work because the kids demand your attention, and you need to help them with the homework, to log into the classes and stuff like that. So they demand more space. At least a 3-bedroom house or apartment, which is something somewhat challenging to find in a city like New York. So based on this, you're probably thinking, oh my, so that's pretty bad, right? That means I won't be able to ever invest in real estate anymore because prices are going to continue to go up. No, that's not what I say. Housing prices are not going down now, but they will eventually. You see, this is what's happening. We're having a repeat of 2008, but in a very different way, right? So let's say, here's the curve, right? So a lot of people remember 2008 because the houses, they were in a bubble and they were at the very highest point, and all of a sudden the news hit and all the prices were going down. People were defaulting on the mortgages because the mortgage was worth more than the houses itself. So yada yada, you know the story, right? So right now we are right here. This is here. We're now right here. So what we want to do is to wait for other people to continue to drive prices up and buy with their emotions all the way up until it hits all the way down. Now, remember, I've always said this in the channel. I've always said that in my real estate investment program as well. When you buy houses, when you invest in real estate, you invest with numbers, okay? You make your decisions solely based on numbers. You don't make your decisions based on your emotion, based on how pretty the house is. Of course, the house needs to be in livable condition, but you don't let those things guide or persuade your decision-making process. So most people who are looking to migrate to Connecticut because they don't want to miss out on the beautiful house, the big house, they're the ones who are buying with their emotions, right? They're buying with fears, and they want to take advantage of the low interest rate, but they're overpaying for the prices. And because the supply is so low, the prices continue to go up, and people start getting themselves into a bidding war, because whoever wants the house the most is the one who's going to be willing to pay the most for that property. And then at the end of the day, what goes up must come down. And all it takes is just a slight shift in the market, which at this point is a little too soon to tell. But let's say, for example, something that could happen is that maybe people who migrated to Connecticut, they realize, you know what, we don't like this. Maybe it's too quiet for us. We prefer the city life. Or maybe some companies say, you know what, we've been trying this whole work from home thing and it's not working. So we want to pull everybody back. Everybody can come back. The schools are open nowadays. There's no danger in the virus anymore. So everybody is welcome to come back to the city. And all of a sudden, everyone wants to move out. Whether homeowners trying to sell their house, they realize that the demand is no longer there anymore and they have no other choice but to lower their home prices. Same thing with people who are renting. Whoever did not know or did not prepare themselves or did not educate themselves the right way, they're buying their houses at this stage for investment. But what happens once the migration starts flowing from the suburban area, call it Connecticut or whatever other state, I'm just simply using Connecticut as an example, but let's assume that everybody starts flowing out. Those who are renting, they decided that, you know what, this is not for me. And now that I can go back to the city, I want to live. So the landlord has no other choice but to create concessions and rent, right? Lower the rent, or I don't know, give some amenities, call it cable services, or maybe include the water service in there or the electricity, whatever you want to call it. They're going to have to do concessions, and it's going to get to a point in time where they would just simply have to pay out of their pocket in order to be able to keep up with the mortgage payment, because now you have a house that was overpriced because you bought it exactly here, and you could default just for the slightest little thing, right? Something happened in the property, you don't have any money to fix it, or let's assume as a landlord you lost your job too, and now you're stuck in a situation where the rent is not enough to cover the mortgage payment and you don't have any money available to just simply pay, because it's a simple choice of having to pay your mortgage or putting food on the table for yourself or for your family. So now your next question will probably be, all right, so when exactly are the houses gonna fall in prices? And the truth is, nobody knows. Nobody knows, but all you have left to do is to continue to monitor the market. This is all we do as real estate investor. We monitor. The reason why I know the prices were coming down in New York is because I was monitoring all the way from back in March. I was monitoring the New York market, March, April, May, June, July. This is a couple of months of research and monitoring. It's the same thing here with Connecticut. You compare prices because that's the only way and how you will know that things are changing. If you're just checking into the market for the first time and invest, that's not really called investment. That's just simply called gambling, right? You have to be able to know what you're walking yourself into. And the best way to do it is to educate yourself. That's why you're watching channels like this. And if you want to or looking to accelerate your learning process, feel free to sign up to this webinar right here. In this webinar, I will teach you how to invest in real estate the right way, even without any capital. So make sure you check it out. It's free of charge. All you got to do is just to sign up and make sure you have sufficient time available to sit down and take notes and learn to invest the right way, but do it now so you can learn and be ready so when this starts happening. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. Do not forget to hit the like button right here and to also check out this episode right here. That's going to help you complement everything you just learned today. And that's pretty much all I have for you today. And until then, take care. Bye-bye.